Good morning, Panthers. Today we are going to take a look at Edgenuity, how to log in there and how to go through the units and complete some assignments. So let's go ahead and jump over to ClassLink and get logged in and moving. All right, Edgenuity. Boom, here we go. So I am enrolled in the art class for 6th grade here at the middle school. And yesterday I started on my activities, and you can see that I've got 29 overdue activities and about 6 hours and 16 minutes worth of work to catch up on here. So I need to get started on my very first activity. So my first activity is to watch the direct instruction video here. And that video is going to be the lesson, right? I'm going to watch the lesson, and it's actually pretty neat. I watched it yesterday. I watched the whole thing here. I learned a lot about art. I was pretty impressed with all the cool stuff that I learned. So you do have to watch the whole entire video before it lets you move on to the next part of the lesson. I tried to cheat that yesterday and tried to just skip to the end and move on to the next thing, the vocab, and it was not going to let me do that until I watched the whole entire video. So you've got to watch the whole video before you can move on to the next thing in your Edgenuity lessons. So once we reach the end of the video, we can see that the video is the one of one things on this part of the unit. So we're going to go down here. We're going to click Next Activity. And my next activity is the Nature of Art vocabulary. So that means I've got to go and complete my vocabulary activity before I can move on again to the next activity down there in the corner. Also, we can see all these things here. If we go back out and I scroll up here, there's the direct instruction video that I completed. And here's the next thing that I'm working on, the vocabulary, which is what it linked me to when I hit next activity. So every time you hit next activity, you're just going to be going through all of these activities and lessons and videos all in order. It's just going to keep pushing you through them until you get caught up on all of them. And as you can see, I've got assignments all the way through August 28th, which is what today happens to be. So I got a lot of catching up to do on my 6th grade art Edgenuity class. So in our vocabulary activity, we can see right away the first task we have here is to type the word art. So if I type the word art, it's not taking it here. And it looks like it's because I did it in caps, and it's asking for me to type it in lowercase. So I'm going to take care of that and then move on to the next step. Okay, so then I had to hit the play button for each one of these 2 recordings, and I listened to the recording, and then my next button lit up. So now I can move on. So you've got to complete all of the steps of the activities before you can move on to the next one. That's the key thing to making your way through these Edgenuity lessons. All right, so I just completed my art lesson there, and now I can click next activity since I've completed my art vocabulary. And we are moving on, the nature of art. All right, so I finished my question, I submitted it, and now I can move on to the next activity. So let's just recap that real quick here. To move through your Edgenuity lessons, you must do exactly what the directions are telling you to do. You must watch all of the videos and listen to all the recordings before your submit or your next button will light up. They want you to do all the work before you can move on to the next step.